Hey guys, what's going on? So I want to give you 8 free agent signings that I think should happen once this lockout's over. And by the way, if you want to know everything that happens after this lockout, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you don't miss it, because I'm going to give you everything once it ends. So hopefully it's going to end soon. With that, let me take you through my 8. Number 1, Kris Bryant. He's obviously a multi-positional player. He's a world champion, so he's got playoff experience. He's a clutch hitter. He's still a pretty high superstar. So, and with his ability to play multiple positions, I think he'd be a good fit in a lot of areas. I've even mentioned him to the Yankees, but I'd actually like him to. I'd like to see him sign with the Toronto Blue Jays. Not because I want to see the Blue Jays win the division, but I think Blue Jays adding somebody like that not only adds to their versatility and kind of tightens that lineup up, but I think it would light a fire under Cashman's and Hal Steinbrenner's butt to increase a sense of urgency on the Yankees side. So. I think he'd be a good fit in Toronto. He'd be a good fit in a bunch of areas, but Toronto, I think he'd be, pretty much an ideal fit there. So that's number 1. Number 2, Clayton Kershaw. And I said this before. I mean, the Dodgers could be out. Sure, well, they are out. Scherzer. They could be out. Bauer. Now that Bauer is, well, we don't know yet. Bauer's not going to be criminally charged as of yesterday. That news came out, but MLB is still investigating him, so there's a chance he could be suspended. So they could be out Bauer too, and then they could also be out Clayton Kershaw. So, and with Clayton Kershaw kind of carving his Hall of Fame career path already with the Dodgers, I think going back to his native home of Texas and joining the Texas Rangers would be a good fit. And adding him to John Gray and some of those other studs that they've already brought in offensively, it would really solidify them as a contender, because they haven't made they made a ton of moves, but they're not there yet. And I think Kershaw would help them get to that next level too. That's number 2. Number 3, Trevor Story. He's obviously, I mentioned him. I actually predicted him to the Yankees. But he'd be a good fit in a lot of places. His versatility and ability to play multiple positions, or position aside from shortstop, with his athleticism. He's a good, solid contact hitter with an excellent defensive profile. I do think he's going to come to New York, but I think I'd like to see him go to Queens, join the Mets. Okay, and play second base there while Francisco Lindor plays shortstop. I think Steve Cohen, they've already acknowledged that they're going to make one move on the offensive side and on the pitching side. I think Story should probably be the move for them on the offensive side. So I'd like to see that happen. Plus, it would make the NL East a lot more competitive. So, and it would kind of maybe would force the Braves to re-sign the number 4 guy, Freddie Freeman. So I want to see him go back to the Braves. It might force him to bring him back, rather than him potentially going elsewhere and keeping Matt Olson away from the Atlanta Braves, which could increase his chance of coming to the Yankees via trade. So I'd like to see Freddie Freeman go back to the Atlanta Braves. They're going to have to give him his 6th year, and at the end of the day, I think they will. He's a homegrown guy there. He's been there for a long time, and he's also carving a Hall of Fame career path out too. So going back to the Braves is my number 4. Number 5, Nick Castellanos. Again, versatile, good outfielder, good defensive profile, plus he's an elite hitter. I actually would like to see him go to the Milwaukee Brewers. Add to that, they brought in Hunter Renfroe already, and I think they're adding another bat, which would give them flexibility, but also, would also allow them to rotate guys within outfield and the DH when NL adopts the DH. So it would give them some more flexibility, give them another bat in that lineup too. You add Renfroe and Castellanos, and the Brewers are right at the top of the NL Central there. That'd be really, really hard to beat. So he's my number 5. Number 6, a pair of relievers, Rich Rodriguez and Andrew Chafin. I like to see them both come to the Yankees and add to that bullpen arsenal that they already have. It also gives them an ability to maybe move on from a Chapman and maybe a Chad Green or something like that should they decide to do that. Bring in these guys, and they could probably get them on a low or moderate contract for a couple years. Their versatility, one righty, one lefty, and I think would be a good add to the Yankees' arsenal. And I guess it gives them some crafty pitchers to go with some of their power arms. So that's my number 6. Number 7, Carlos Correa. I want to see him go to the Dodgers. Yeah. LA Dodgers, and move Trey Turner over to second base, and you have Correa at short and Turner at second. That's, I think the Dodgers, because they could have $100 million plus coming off the books after losing potentially 3 pitchers. They could easily add Correa and plug him into that lineup, and it would make that lineup super dynamic. Plus, it would force other teams in his division, like the Padres, to maybe overspend, or maybe if they decide to go after Joey Gallo from the Yankees, overpay. So it creates different scenarios, and that's why the impact could have a ripple effect. So not that I want Joey Gallo to leave, but if they decide to move him, they could potentially get a little bit more if the Dodgers make a move like this, because they're going to want to add a bat to that lineup. A left-handed bat, too, from the outfield. So Just a thought on the outside. And lastly, number 8 is Carlos Rodon. I want the Yankees to sign him. They need a clear number 2. He provides that. He's a power arm. And I know some folks are saying his arm is about to fall off and blah, blah. I'm not exactly a believer of that. But, surrounding him with Cole and obviously giving Cole a good number 2 to complement him bridges the gap between him and the rest of the rotation. I also think they should trade for a starter. I've mentioned that 100 times. But Carlos Rodon, there's a move I think should happen immediately after the draft. After the draft, the lockout's over. So those are the 8 moves I'd like to see happen. There's obviously a bunch more, but these, to me, could have a ripple effect in a lot of different areas, like I mentioned. So you guys let me know what you think. What other moves would you like to see? My next video, I'm going to talk about 5 trades that I'd actually like to see happen as well, which could also have a ripple effect around baseball, too. So I'll keep it coming. By the way, I'm not doing a live stream tonight. I'm just going to do one on Saturday this week. I have some things going on, but we'll be rocking and rolling on Saturday night, so I hope to see all of you there. Have a great week, and I'll keep you updated on the lockout stuff going on, too. Over and out.